I guess I'll call our meeting to order. We'll do a roll call. I'm Ray Mitchell. I'll be chairing today's meeting.
Debbie Willis.
I know her.
From Longback.
Who's next? Julie?
Julie Kelch, Civil Service Examiner and Secretary.
I'm Dean Thomas, the Operations Commander for the Police Department.
Chief Jeff Bazzizo.
Brian, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
I can hear you guys just fine. So I announced.
Well, you're the last one for a roll call.
All right. Brian McManus, Civil Service Commissioner, present.
Great. First action item is to approve the minutes of the July 10th Civil Service Commission meeting. Then everybody had an opportunity to review the minutes.
Yep. I've reviewed them. I have no changes.
Okay, with that, I'll make a motion. We accept them as written. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion's carried. Under new business, Dean, we have you down there for a staffing and recruiting update.
Okay. Well, we're still down technically 4 that we're gonna try to get in the door at some point. Recruiting is ongoing as always. We just had one start the academy this week in Burien, so that's good news. We've gonna ask for a couple more bodies next year, so we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Well, I was under the impression that the city council approved those 2 additional heads.
So they approved them for 2025 budget. We got those in the third quarter, so those are now on our roster. Add 2 more patrol officers to finish off that level for each squad. Squad would have of 6. And then we asked for another support services sergeant to be able to traffic, K9, CSOs, everybody but the SROs out of underneath Jim and move them into a kind of a PROAC unit to be able to do that. So we'll see how the budget goes.
So the
And-
38 includes the 2 additional people that we got from the council. That's a juke. We're showing 38 for authorized personnel.
Should be 39 because we should be, yeah, it should be 39.
39.
Yeah. Because we're right at 49 total. We have 10 civilians and 39 officers now. So just to let you guys know too, is our deputy chief is medically retiring on September 2nd. So he will be gone. So then it's now have to backfill the deputy chief positions and whatever movement from down that far. So we will actually have 5 openings here pretty shortly.
Okay.
But the command staff, Jeff is gonna medically retire.
Yep. He'll be gone.
Yeah, so there'll be an opening there.
Yep. And then the trickle down effect.
Right. Amazing how that works. Dean, or Chief, any other questions on the staffing and recruiting update?
Just to let you know, we hired our CSO. The new CSO, the additional position that we got in the 2025 budget, we finally got one hired and we'll be starting on Monday. So we'll have Margaret Cooper and Maxwell Vick as our CSOs. So we're excited to Julie finally helped us find one and we got him through. So that was a long, I don't know how long does that take us, Julie? Almost a year? Yeah.
Now, will their roles, now that we have 2, will their roles be expanding?
Yeah, so they're gonna be moving us to helping us out with the parks, which Dean was just updating me about the park calls. We've actually seen a huge reduction in our calls for service to the parks and the incidents that we're having at the parks. So we're already seeing that effect. So this will hopefully even make it better. So.
And those parks would be like, this park, the Cove and Sunset?
Yep, and soon to be the skate park as of the end of the month or 1st of September, we're taking over Cavallero Park, skate park
Really?
as a city. Yep, so we're adding another.
I've also heard, Chief, that we may be taking over the park over there, the Lake Stevens Community Park.
That is in the future, but it has not been approved.
Okay, thank you. I have another question too. I saw online somewhere it talked about Washington State has the least police officers per capita than in the entire nation.
Yep.
Would it be possible to see how Lake Stevens compared to other comparable cities within the state?
Oh, I can tell you exactly where we're at. We're at 0.48. We're the lowest right now with the patrol staff, and we're at 0.98 as commissioned, and that includes your command staff commission officers. So we rank right now as the lowest city at a comparable size for every city in our
In the state of Washington.
not in the state of Washington. The cities our size for per capita for the size of our population. We're way low compared to the rest of the state of Washington.
So I assume population, crime statistics kind of drive all that, right?
Yep. Yeah, they just sent out, WASPIC just sent out a press release. It just went out and talks about how the crime nationally has gone down, but in the state of Washington, it's actually gone up over the last 5 years. And then the per capita and how that compares that with less officers, you're seeing more crime. And Washington State ranks 51 out of 50 states. And you're asking how is there 50 states? Because you got the District of Columbia, which is considered a state with the comparables. So Washington is the lowest. So they went to legislation. Legislation was blessing us to give us $100 million grant, but to apply for that is a process, and you get $125,000. But now we have to pay 25% of our cost to send somebody to the academy, which Deb knows from her experience. It gets to be about a little over $7,000. And since we're 50 miles beyond, we're less than 50 miles to CJTC Berrien, we're 47 miles. Sometimes we may have to pay the food and lodging, which now cost us over $30,000 to send somebody down to the academy in Berrien. If we wait and send them up to the regional academy here in the Northwest Regional Academy, we could be waiting from anywhere from 8 months to a year and a half before we can send them to this academy up here.
So is that why, Chief?
You're getting walked over there, Ray. What was that?
Is that why Matthew Ashbrook is going to the Burien Academy?
Yes, he went to the Berrien Academy. It was funny. It's the first police officer that I've hired. 4 years today is my 4-year mark. I actually had him registered for the academy before I had him registered as a city employee. We filled out all the paperwork and got him registered, and then within 2 hours, he was registered for the academy down in Berrien. And the reason he had to go to Berrien was because the Northwest Regional Academy had just filled up the week prior with the 30 positions that are only allowed by state law. So every academy can only hold 30 students, and they have to have 30 students, so can't hold the academy class. So that is written into state law. So with that, they moved him down to Berrien, and after some abrupt conversation, I would say professional conversation with the executive director, they waived the $23,000 worth of meals and lodging, and now we only have to pay $7,000 to send him down there. So it worked out for us. It worked out for Matthew. We don't have to wait for 8 months to 15 months to send him to the academy, and we get an officer in 4 months from the academy. So
I wasn't very clear, I guess, on my question, Chief, on how we compare. I mean, there's crime statistics. Cities our size in the state of Washington, are we right in the middle as far as domestic violence or burglaries? And I'm trying to give us some sort of ammunition as citizens to help support the city council to give us more officers.
yeah, and they're very supportive of it, Ray. They're working with us. They're giving the officers. They opened up the 2 positions this year, and for the crime statistics, we're doing such a good job. We're ranked the 10th safest city in Washington this year. So we're doing it, and we're doing it with the staff that we had, but we are running from call to call to call. And that is just a matter of time before things start going wrong, right? And so you've got it. We want to go to a 4-man minimum. We've been working on that now for almost 2 years.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And every time we get there, the staff starts going away, right? And so you have to start rebuilding. But a city our size, we should be at a minimum of 4 officers. That's a supervisor and 3 officers to be able to respond. We also just did a study of where our calls for service are, and it's more it's 3 o'clock till about 9 o'clock at night. So now the park's open, it's till about 10 o'clock at night. So having those additional officers to focus on traffic, park, being invisible and stuff, you need those extra bodies because right now, a domestic minimum of 2 officers, a DUI, it could take 6 to 8 hours to process a DUI. So these calls that used to take hours now take hours upon hours to process. So we're looking at regional partnerships with what's called the DFR drone and looking into that what's called a regional crime intelligence center. We're looking at different ways to use technology to leverage some of this, but it takes bodies. We're replacing people with cameras. Yeah, it's a good idea to hopefully slow people down, but you're not going to catch the people that are drinking and driving with a camera. So, how do you stop those things from happening? And you need bodies to do that.
Right.
The last question I have, Chief, is, we really got spoiled when Wayne Ackerman was here as far as traffic issues. And we could get the cameras out there, just give Wayne a call or you guys a call, and we'd have them out on little hot spots in that. And, I know that's been turned over to the Department of Public Works, or, is there any hope that the police department, once you get a dedicated traffic officer, that you guys might take that back?
No, because of the way the law is written, Ray, it has to fall under the Public Works. We have to go in and review those things and review them to process them to the court. But the traffic cameras, the engineers and the Public Works have to direct that project.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and those are permanent cameras anyways, and they have to be in school zones, hospitals, parks. And then you have an option with the percentage of serious injury or fatal collisions. So you have to have the data to support if you want to put it into a place outside of that. So there's a lot of data research and stuff that have to be developed. Then you have to get permission from the State Department of Transportation because it could be on a highway. And there's a lot of stuff that's why it says police and not Public Works, is there's a lot of stuff with the engineer that need to happen. So that's why it's that program. Every city does that. Everett, the officers review the tickets, but the Public Works directors handle all that.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I have a question.
Yep.
I may have the wrong city, but if you believe that Bothell came out with a electric bike or policy that they were kind of touting as maybe the standard that may occur, and I was wondering if you've taken a look at that or driven between here and Lundin Parkway lately.
Yeah, we have it. We're just working on it. Our public information went out last night. Our communications for the director for the city actually released that information. So we have a web page because there's classifications, right? So it's e-bikes or e-motorcycles. And that's where you have to know for e-bikes, there's 3 different classifications. First classification is one that has a throttle and pedals. The other one, and it has to be over 28 miles per hour, I think, or something like that. And then the other one is a throttle over 28 miles per hour. And then the other one is pedal. So it's like, okay, what classification does it fall under? What kind of rules do they have? And then the motorcycles, people think, well, it's electric. So it's not really a motorcycle, but it is a motorcycle. So then we can go out and treat those as motorcycles. The problem we're having is these are juveniles. They're 10 to 12-year-old kids that you can't write tickets to infractions to, Deb, like you understand that with the juvenile court, everything has to go to juvenile courts. There's no process to write civil infractions to juvenile court. Juvenile court right now won't take anything unless it's probably an assault 1 or a homicide, because they just don't have the staff and the process to be able to do that. So it's like, how can we do this? So we're looking at our ordinance. We used to have in the past to be able to impound the bikes, but the way this thing is written, it gives me the authority to be the decision maker on that, which is kind of a conflict of interest, because am I going to say, yeah, we give the bike back because my officer didn't have the right to take that bike, right? That shouldn't be on me. That should be a separate person that has that authority, like an administrative hearing officer or something. So we're looking at it right now. The mayor and us have been in discussions to get that, and the city legal have been working to get that ordinance up to date and make sure it's compliance with the law, because those are old things that have been in our ordinance for quite a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a group of about 20 to 30 kids that ride around on those things and have been a kind of a pain.
Scary as drivers because they come out of nowhere.
Yep.
They're on the sidewalk and then all of a sudden they're in front of you. And
Yep. I had two of them the other night from council meeting. I was headed home, came out of 87th down here on 20th Street southeast, right where the car dealership is, went across all 4 lanes right in front of 2 cars. I chased them all the way up to 83rd and they went down a trail, and I can't go down a trail in my patrol car. So I
Yeah.
turned left and went home.
Yeah,
Chief, I want to compliment you. You know, I hold the Lake Stevens Police Department in very high regard. And last year at the Guns and Hoses game, I was talking to Sergeant Valvik, and I mentioned that I have a couple that live right behind me, a young couple from Ukraine. And the young lady explained to me that she was really nervous about not having a prompt police response. And she had been through all the bombings in Ukraine and that. And Sergeant Valvik told me that he had an officer that spoke fluent Ukrainian.
Yep.
Liz, I think is her name. And within a couple of days, she came up there and I went down there and she spent time talking to those people, gave her business card, said anytime they want, and they were really grateful. So kudos to your department.
Thanks, Ray.
Yeah, we've got a couple of people that speak different foreign languages, and it's been a blessing. So
Yeah.
You can just add to the staffing and recruiting update that I'm working with public safety testing to identify another date that we can hold a testing event here at the mill to show off Lake Stevens to candidates and show off why they should work for Lake Stevens. So hopefully we'll be able to do another date before the end of the year.
Do we have a timeline when we're going to do the new sergeant's exams?
the sergeant's assessment center will be in November.
November.
Julie, just put down on their notes that you and I need to discuss. I don't know if we're paying for people to put, oh my goodness, Dean's computer it keeps popping and blapping. We pay to put people on the list, and what we've seen an increase of applicants that are not responding and stuff that I think are getting put on our list because we're paying for it, and it's causing us a lot of time management issues because they never respond back, they never come through. And the ones that we do, we ask them because when we start talking to some of these applicants, is well, we just put you on our list because you guys pay for it.
Okay, so would you like me to stop doing that?
Yeah, I think we may. That's a discussion we're going to need to have.
Okay,
Unless, Julie, unless we host it
Yeah.
and then, you know, they physically put their name on our, you know, clipboard list, then we'll be happy to do that.
Yeah.
But I think just blindly putting it on the PSD website is costing us money and time.
okay,
Good thought though,
Yeah.
but they're just not following.
We're
through.
just because with this new Guardian, we can keep track of a lot of different things, and that is one thing we've been keeping track of. So,
absolutely, but if it's not helping you, it's not doing it.
Any other questions about staffing and recruiting update?
no, the only thing we have right now, Ray, is we're looking to maybe add a couple more background investigators. We added one more, so Commander Thomas, Sergeant Hingen, and Phil Bassett are now our background investigators, which help us out, especially with all the openings we have. But we're looking at it to put down into the patrol division now, since we bought this program Guardian. It's moved our background investigations from about 40 hours down to about 20 hours. And it gives the opportunity to do most of it electronically, except for the interviews and those kinds of things. So we're looking to add, as a succession plan, to add a couple of patrol officers that can do backgrounds for us to still and get that experience, so we have that succession planning into the future.
That's good. Okay, is there any other new business? I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting. Is there a second?
second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, Chief, congratulations on 4 years. Thanks for your service. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Brian. I appreciate it. It's gone by
You bet.
fast. It's
Yeah, I bet.
8 years here, but 4 years is just as the chief. So.
I know, right?